So anyone who's been following FIFA 20 in terms of news will know that this game's been something of a disaster. I don't know if that's stopping it from selling a bunch of millions of copies, but in terms of optics, yeah, things are not good for FIFA 20, and it all started with career mode having shipped broken, so AI was just not working. The way teams were being represented, it was just not the way it should be working. Like, top teams in real life were kind of at the bottom of the barrel in this game for some reason. The algorithm, whatever, something just wasn't right. And then just the scheduling algorithms were off. During press conferences, players would get asked questions that don't match what the player did in their career mode playthrough, so on and so forth. The list of issues is extensive. And then for FIFA 20 for Nintendo Switch, turns out this isn't even really FIFA 20, it's just FIFA 19 copied and pasted, repackaged, and sold at full price. Yeah, this is about as lazy and scummy and greedy as you can get, and FIFA avoids legal scrutiny by touting how on the official website you can see that it does state that it makes no real upgrades from FIFA 19, but the average customer is not going to go to the official website. They're just going to buy the game based on the packaging, and the packaging says FIFA 20, not FIFA 19 Updated Edition. So it's just all around misleading. And so both of those aspects have drawn a lot of backlash for EA, but as if all that wasn't enough, in comes this story. You might have seen headlines like this making the rounds. It reads right here from website Games Industry, EA leaks FIFA Global Series player data. Yep, we're here again. This is a familiar story in the games industry. This happens far too often, and in this case, information that's leaked include emails, IDs, birth dates, country of residence, and console and account names. So not necessarily like credit cards and stuff like that, but enough information that will allow people to do some damage if they really wanted to. So this is pretty bad. And then this was reported actually by professional FIFA players who signed up for the Global Series. So right here we have Kurt, who posted the following. Before I get to the absolute farce of that competitive bullshit, when you click the link register for verification, you get other people's personal information. WTF. This is a new low even for this joke of a company. And then Kurt said, I'm suing. I don't know how serious he's about that or if he's just dramatizing, but either way, yeah, it's a bad situation all around. And another user actually pointed out that EA's got this page on how security is important to them that reads, quote, data we share with third parties. We will not share data that directly identifies you with independent third parties without your consent, unless such disclosure is irresponsible to lawful requests by public bodies, including to meet national security or law enforcement requirements, otherwise required by law, reasonably necessary to enforce our policies, procedures, rights, property, or operations, or to protect our employees, players, or third parties, reasonably necessary in the event of a reorganization, divestiture, merger, sale, or bankruptcy. We use third-party agents to process your personal data on our behalf. It is our responsibility to ensure that our agents and service providers protect your data in accordance with the commitment given in this notice. Where personal data is transferred to third-party agents in accordance with this notice, EA remains liable for treatment of your personal data, including any onward transfers made according to the Privacy Shield principles. And then it talks about how they protect your data. Security is a priority at EA, I'm sure it is, and we take a range of technical and organizational measures to help protect your personal data, such as encryption of data in transit, HTTPS, and at rest. Even so, please be aware that no security measure is 100% perfect. Yeah, the thing is, no breach took place in this scenario. It was just EA's own incompetence that led to people's data being exposed. There's no point in having encryption if you as a company does something stupid that just exposes that data because you yourself failed to competently handle the data. So, yeah, all of this encryption crap is moot in this case. And it says right here they'll not share any data unless X, Y, and Z, but they share the data. and not just to independent third parties, to just the general public. So, yikes. Big yikes for EA on this one. And then this is George Hughes, another professional FIFA player. He said, my friend got a big pull in the data breach pack, hashtags own Algerian arrow. We'll send you a birthday card. What a mess. And so he highlights right here with this screenshot how you can in fact see other people's personal information, email, ID, country of residence, birthday, so on and so forth. And then finally, we have this tweet from this professional FIFA player, J Rex, who tweeted, so I'm guessing I was affected by personal data leak from EA. This is an absolute shambles. This is then followed up by the following screenshot showing him getting what looks to be texts from EA, probably as part of the two-step authentication process. So people are essentially trying to get hold of his account based on the fact that they maybe know who J Rex is, and they have the information to just attempt to make their way into this player's account using the personal data that was leaked. So this situation is all around pretty awful. And for a lot of these FIFA players, I mean, they're well-known figures among certain crowds. They are public figures. So having their personal information leaked in any way, shape, or form opens them up to this kind of crap, to any sort of attack or stalking or harassment. So yeah, this is going to put a damper on professional FIFA players' ability to trust in EA and their handling of personal data. And that brings us to EA's response to all this. Shortly after word began to spread, EA Sports FIFA official Twitter page posted this. We are aware of a potential issue affecting the registration page for the EA Sports FIFA 20 Global Series that went live earlier today. We take these matters seriously, and we immediately took down the page while we investigate the matter. We'll share updates as soon as possible. And then finally, later that day, the same Twitter page posted a full-fledged report on what happened. It reads as follows. An update on the EA Sports FIFA 20 Global Series registration page issued from October 3rd. At approximately 1 p.m. UK time, we announced the registration portal page for the EA Sports FIFA 20 Global Series. Shortly after, we learned that some players trying to register were seeing the information of other players who had already signed up through the registration page. We immediately took action to shut down the site by 1:30 p.m. UK time. We were able to root cause the issue and implement a fix to be clear that information is protected. We're confident that players will not see the same issue going forward. Yeah, your confidence isn't really worth that much, EA. We have determined that approximately 1,600 players were potentially affected by this issue. Wow. And we are taking steps to contact those competitors with more details and protect their EA accounts. Player privacy and security are of the utmost importance to us, and we deeply apologize that our players encountered this issue today. You know, the games industry keeps emphasizing how pivotal it is that they protect our data, but we're seeing reports of this stuff happening more often than we should. Recall that Fallout 76 faced a similar issue. Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition was supposed to come with a canvas bag, not a nylon one. So when they put up the support page that allowed people to submit tickets to request the advertised canvas bag, it turned out that they made all of that information public. A lot of information got leaked, personal data. And Bethesda issued the following statement talking about, whoops, we made a mistake. And they shared that during the incident, it appears that the username, actual name, contact information, and proof of purchase information provided by a limited number of customers on their support ticket requests may have been viewable by other customers accessing the customer support website for a limited time, but no full credit card numbers or passwords were disclosed. But from what I understand, partial credit card numbers were disclosed alongside all this other information. Oh, and of course, there is the "we take the privacy of our customers seriously" boilerplate statement that all companies who irresponsibly handle data seem to output, as if that's enough to assure us that this won't happen again, given how often this kind of crap happens. There's only so many times you can declare you take customers' privacy seriously and then leak data due to your own incompetence before that assurance becomes completely meaningless. No matter how they try to frame this, it's just anytime a data leak like this happens, it's not a good look, especially when it happens not because you were breached, not because you were hacked, not because it wasn't your fault, but because your website, whatever, was set up inappropriately and allowed for this information to be made public. Just like with EA, this was Bethesda's fault. It was their sheer incompetence that led to this happening. As for what implications this could all ultimately have, well, Forbes pointed out that, quote, this could be a very costly misstep in what is National Cybersecurity Month. The European General Data Protection Regulation rules could see EA Sports facing a hefty fine of up to 4% of annual revenue if the leak was caused by neglect. So if it's the case that EA wasn't hacked, but rather EA just let this happen because they neglected to take the appropriate steps to secure people's personal data, according to the GDPR, yeah, they could be fined pretty heftily. And we'll see how that goes, if that ends up taking shape in any way. But I hope we get to see these major game publishers for once face some kind of consequence for their negligent, irresponsible actions. And yeah, this topped with a broken game launch, topped with FIFA 20 for Switch just being a complete con of a product. What more is there to say? This is all quintessential Electronic Arts. So there you have it, folks. Another chapter in the FIFA 20 disaster saga. Let me know in the comments below what your take is about everything going on with FIFA 20. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.